Okay, I just want to do a quick video about the first story here, Smith of Wootton Major. Don't worry about Farmer Giles of Ham. But Smith of Wootton Major is a book by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, Emmaus Academy, there's, the St. Paul Institute, the Scott Hahn people, they've got an offshoot called Emmaus Academy. Sometimes they do freebies where you get free membership, well, you get access to all their courses for a month or something like that for free. So definitely subscribe to them. And they have a course at Emmaus Academy about the liturgical imagination of J.R.R. Tolkien, the writer who is most famous for The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, that sort of thing. But he was a big fan of the Latin Mass, and when the new Mass came out, he would do the responses in Latin. He was embarrassing, according to his grandchildren, that he did not like the different sort of changes. So we reckon he probably liked Gregorian chant, and he probably liked the Latin Mass. Well, yeah, he did like the Latin Mass. I don't know what his Latin Mass looked like at the time, but anyway, Smith of Wootton Major was written towards the end of his life, where this would have been happening. And the Emmaus Academy course points out the parallels which indicate this is probably the closest that Tolkien gets to a real analogical sort of story. You can look at, he hated the idea of analogies. So yeah, it won't be a direct, this means this means this, but he does have a lot of beautiful ideas, and it gets you past people saying the Latin Mass is for academics, or yeah, I'm just not smart enough to know Latin, so I can't do the Latin Mass. But yeah, getting this the feeling of reverence and stuff, that the mystical, I don't know, yeah. I did write up some notes, and I've got them in the next room. Do you want me to get them? I should probably get them. Okay, let's do it. Okay, here's my notes. Smith of Wootton Major. That's at Emmaus Academy. So he mentions a sugar-frosted fairy queen as one of the characters. Well, it's a sugar. They make a big cake. So the celebration being involving food. Maybe you just have to read the book, but just can you imagine a little fairy queen on top of a cake made out of sugar? So that was a sort of okay. I've made these notes from a while ago, and they're very brief. But the song "Welcome to the Family." Do you know the song? Welcome to the family. We're glad that you have come to share your life with us. Do you know that song? I heard this song this morning while I was in adoration. But yeah. I don't know if it's an Australian. No, it was definitely an American song. It had American accents. But that Sugar Frosted Fairy Queen and the song "Welcome to the Family," kind of, I can see there's similarities there. Okay, but you contrast that in the story. That's sort of in the real world sort of thing. That image of fairy, but when he actually goes into fairyland, it's a terrifying reality. And I think the song that I've picked when I was writing these notes to illustrate that was "Factus est repente de cielo sonos," which is miles away from "Welcome to the Family." You sort of get that. So that's that image. So read Smith of Wootton Major, see how it all does it. Does the book predict how things will work out, or is it more he was coming to the end of his life, he was realising how to let go of his trips to fairyland? It does have a sort of bittersweet sort of. He was a melancholic type of writer. Yeah, so yeah, go to see the Emmaus Academy. They have I think there's a freebie thing at the moment. That's what prompted me to think I should get back into making an article about this book. Okay. And also, I don't know, do you want to hear the rest of the notes? Okay, so there's a bad cook and a good cook, and the bad cook relied on sugar and didn't really know how to use all these other things, but he had a major do coming up, so he had to get out the spice box, and it was all musty and old. But the good cook has this arsenal of spices, and he knows how to use them, and he keeps them fresh. Having the cassette tape or your CD or whatever, your MP3 player with "Welcome to the Family" on it is like the sugar. And yeah, it seems to be overdone, but it is, you don't need to explain it or anything. Yeah, the meaning is pretty obvious and it's easy. But so a good cook, you're going in for that reverence. You might have to actually study You might have to do a course or something like that. You might have to get some really old books with this really arcane, what is it called? Yeah, music like that. Okay, but yeah, and it did mention getting out old recipe books in there. But yeah, the bad cook, you follow the bad cook right through the end, and his end is not so happy. It's like he could not comprehend his place in the whole story. Yeah? It's like he just didn't have yeah, and sort of... Okay, so maybe that's where telling this sort of stuff with a story rather than trying to explain what it means with words is a better way to go. So the story, you can sort of build it up and you don't get shot down saying, oh, you're just saying the, I don't know, what am I saying? Yeah, certain collections of liturgical music current at the moment are like, I don't know, twisties and Fruit Loops, and the old stuff is like, I don't know, porterhouse steak or something like that. Yeah, maybe that's okay. It's time to say goodbye for now, and I'll see you next time. God bless. Bye.